hopefully it make you feel more positive about where you live and empower people to do great things themselves. I can do that. If they're doing that, I can make that happen too.
Okay, so today I am sitting down with Zoe Antrobus, who is not only one of my favourite people in the world, but also co-founder of 4theRegion and my business partner in everything that we're doing here in South West Wales. So welcome, Zoe.
Hi, Dawn. Thank you. It's so lovely to see you. We've had such a busy year.
Oh, we have, and that's what I'm hoping we can just have a chat about. We talk all the time about everything to do with 4theRegion and everything we're doing, but I thought it might be nice as we're kicking off a new season of our podcast to just give a bit of a reflection on 4theRegion, why we exist, what we're doing, and we're nearly 8 years old, if you can believe that. So yeah, maybe you can just talk a little bit about what 4theRegion is and what we've been doing for 8 years.
That's a really interesting question, isn't it? I think we get asked that all the time. What is 4theRegion? I mean, I guess we started 4theRegion because we saw that there was an opportunity to bring people, businesses, and organisations from across the region. And when I'm talking about the region, I mean the region of South West Wales, the best place to live in the world. That's 4 counties of South West Wales, from Pembrokeshire, Carmarthenshire, Swansea, and Neath Port Talbot, bringing together everyone around a shared sense of purpose. That's the local authorities and the public sector organisations. That's business owners, the third sector, and us as people and individuals about care and love where we live, to come together and co-create solutions to the places that we care and love about.
And you've always lived in Swansea, you've grown up in Swansea, and you're just personally passionate about the place.
I absolutely love it. And I've always worked in Swansea. I've always worked in a business environment within Swansea as well. And actually, when I worked for different organisations, I think that's where I got to realise that Pembrokeshire and Carmarthenshire and Neath Port Talbot are just on our cusp, and so easy to touch and easy for us to network and build relationships with. And there's so much happening within the 4 counties. So that's what I was in a really privileged position from previous jobs to be a little bit connected within those counties already. So it was a really good starting point for us to start 4theRegion.
Yeah, we talk about that, don't we? That we were both kind of in different roles where we were seeing that there was lots to be positive about in South West Wales, lots of great stuff happening across the region, and that sense that people didn't know about it and people weren't connected. And I suppose that's where we really started from, is thinking like, how can we break down the silos and bring people together?
Absolutely. We're always in a really privileged position, and in a privileged position before we started 4theRegion, to hear about projects and initiatives, whether that was investment and development and opportunities for jobs and things like that, right down to community projects and initiatives. And like you say, we just felt that people weren't hearing about that sort of stuff. There was no one place that people would go and feel like they had the knowledge. And I hope with a couple of things that we do, that people feel, especially our newsletter, our monthly newsletter, that they feel like it's bite-sized bits of information that they can feel like, wow, there's great stuff happening here. Oh, that's happening. They're doing this, they're doing that. And hopefully it make you feel more positive about where you live and empower people to do great things themselves. I can do that. If they're doing that, I can make that happen too.
That's getting on to our theory of change, I suppose, isn't it? And we talk about, we've got these 3 values: positivity, collaboration, and empowerment. And our mission to co-create a happier, healthier South West Wales with a thriving economy. You know, it's empowering people by connecting people and helping everyone see that there is positive stuff they can get involved with, whether that's businesses connecting with each other and stronger local supply chains, keeping our money in the region, or just being inspired by what other projects and initiatives are doing. So talk about some of the ways that we we do that, obviously, through our events, through our newsletter. What have we been doing for 8 years that tries to really shine a light on all of that good stuff?
I think, like, you mentioned our mission statement there, like, co-creating a happier, healthier Southwest Wales with a thriving economy. That's not you and me. That is us, as everyone that lives and cares about where we live, about for the region, about the region of Southwest Wales. That is everybody coming together. And how do we do that? So the newsletter is about that positivity piece. So people, like, as I've just mentioned, like feeling positive about where you live, which is the starting block, because we can all feel so negative and so broken and disconnected from everything. If you read the local media or social media or any of those outlets, you can literally just feel that everything's broken and what's the point? And I think we've realized that events on whatever scale that may be, whether that's large scale conferences, small roundtable conversations, events in community hubs. We have done a whole lot of different places around the region, coffee shops, you name, in our little office. Like, we've run so many different events. And it's that bringing people together, encouraging them to come together in a room, and I guess making it different from your average networking, with that, bringing everyone together around a shared sense of purpose. You're putting people in a room that care about that particular subject and conversation. So immediately you're making it easy. It's not like come to the networking stuff where people are going to stand and feel a bit awkward. You're going to have a conversation with people that care about the same thing that you do. So that's why you're in a room together. We've Procurement and buying local has always been a massive conversation for us. And again, we've held conferences around that. We've had roundtable conversations around that. It's always at the heart of that creating a thriving economy. Like, that's what we're trying to do by having those conversations and everything. And I think that's so the events on whatever scale they may be is a really important part of what we do, that giving people the opportunity to share what they're doing, connect with like-minded people, and that sort of thing.
Yeah, so our events, like you say, might be on a specific topic like procurement or local food. We do loads of discussions and conversations around the food system and how to create a relocalized food system, but also those county-wide discussion forums that we run. So I suppose just in the last few years, we've been able to host county-wide discussion forums in Neath Port Talbot, Swansea, Carmarthenshire and Pembrokeshire. So that's about bringing people together to talk about where they live and see what are the issues and things that people want to talk about in those spaces.
Absolutely. And talk up the positive stuff as well. Like, again, in a county, people don't always know what's happening within the county. And putting people on the stage, highlighting positive things. And I think one of the our USPs is that we're not looking for those keynote speakers. We always want to hear from the real change makers that are doing different things, whether there's somebody from a creative conversation or whether it's somebody, a budding entrepreneur that's taken over a hospital or whatever that may be and turned it into a community hub. Like, there's so many cool things that happen across the region. I think that's the beauty of those county-wide forums, is putting people, unique change makers, on the stage and really inspiring the people in the room.
Yeah, I think it's a highlight for us, is just those opportunities to bring people together from businesses, local residents, the local authorities and the big organisations, housing associations, the business community, all together in a room to talk about what we want for the future of our local places. Like, what are the issues? What are the opportunities? It's a chance for anyone to come forward and say, I really am concerned about this particular topic, or I really want to figure out how we can support different types of people in the community. for us, it's always about collaboration, isn't it? We're always saying to people, don't sit at home and complain about something, and don't run off and do something on your own and think that you're the only person who cares about an issue. If you come together in these conversations that we host, you connect with other people who also care about those things. And then the ripple effect is that we're better connected, we're more inspired by each other, we're sharing knowledge maybe of what has worked in one place to another, and really building strong connections and opportunities to work together. Working together is our tagline. What does that mean to you, that working together piece?
It just means that you can't be alone. Like, you don't have to do anything alone. And as you've just described there, the thing where you sit at home and think of an idea, you're often, if you're thinking of that idea for your community, for your staff, for whatever it may be, you can guarantee you're not the only person that thinks it. And I hope that by us bringing people together and encouraging collaboration and that working together, we can all really try to make a difference, really. What we've done that's quite unique at our events recently is to have an open agenda, which really gives people the opportunity to come and talk about that burning thing that they're sitting at home and thinking about, or they're sitting in the office. And for businesses, it's a good opportunity to connect with other businesses around maybe growth, or maybe how staff issues, jobs and opportunities, the skills for staff. It's really important that and businesses have used this open agenda as an opportunity to talk with other businesses, as well as community projects and initiatives, to say, well, I really care about this and I'm working on my own. Like, who else wants to do this? And actually, by having that open agenda and being able to let people within the room, often 200 people in a room, like walking around the different questions and walking around this open agenda means that people can pop in and give their advice. I think from even the councils that have got involved in that open agenda have really found it of value to put it out there to businesses about what are we doing right, what are we doing wrong, what can we, businesses really giving them the advice of where they look for information, where they would like the information to come from. I think that open agenda has worked really well across the events over 2025. And I think it will be a cool thing for us to continue into 2026.
Yeah, it's really speaks to that priority we've got about co-creation. What you were saying there with local authorities using the opportunity to actually talk to people and businesses and get input into what we would love to see the local authorities working on, or other organisations. It's sort of everybody listening to each other and learning, and then hopefully figuring out new projects and solutions that take everybody's input and knowledge into account.
And the beauty of the fact now we're in so we've run these county-wide events for 2 years now, is that year on year, people will begin to understand that, that's the place that I can go and engage with like-minded people. That's the place that I can go and showcase my business, or that's the place that I can go and connect with people, or maybe work out some ideas and solutions to a project that I might have. Like, as if people think, oh, right, okay, so every March I'm going to go to It's Your Swansea, and I know I'm going to connect with the right people there, or every May go to It's Your Pembrokeshire, and the others throughout the year. Like, hopefully, as they grow, that will what people be thinking of, that annual get together of the county to come together and talk positively and collaborate around the right things. And we've talked a lot about positivity, collaboration. So the positive piece is our newsletter, collaboration. We use different types of events to make that happen. But the end goal is to empower the county to make good things happen for themselves. And that empowerment piece is hopefully when people do feel positive about where they live, and collaborate with the right people, it empowers them and they feel different about where they live. And they think, yes, I can do this. I can make change happen. I can do this in my own business. I can do this in my own community. And that is our third value around empowerment. And it's a really important piece because that's at our end goal of it all is that we want to make positive change for where we live.
Yeah, and the culture we live in can be so disempowering if all of our focus is on government and somebody else to solve all of our problems. You know, we disempower ourselves. But when we come together in local places and in our region, then we're empowered by that, and we can make, there's so much positive change that we can make happen in the face of all the struggles and difficulties that people are up against. So 4theRegion is a membership organisation, and businesses join us, not just businesses. We've got different membership levels, but why do businesses join? And talk a little bit about membership. What does that mean?
Yeah, I think from the start, like I said, when we talked about our mission statement, and I said it's not like co-creating a happier, healthier South West Wales with a thriving economy isn't just you and I trying to do that. And it's about us coming together as people and businesses and organizations. And some people really get that. And we're really lucky to have a membership of 200 people, businesses, and organizations from across the region that do believe that it's really important that we work together, that do believe that together we can make a change, that do believe that it's important we talk positively about where we live, do believe in collaboration, and do believe in empowering people and businesses and organizations. And that is why they support us in our work that we do. And we are lucky, like I say, we've got 200 businesses and individuals and big organizations and third sector organizations that go, yes, 4theRegion. Yes, let's come together and work together. I will help you by supporting you with £50, £250, £2,000, whatever they can to support the work that we're doing. And I think sometimes people don't realise that it's just us backed by a small number of local businesses and organisations that are trying to make this change. I sometimes think people think, oh, like, oh, look at 4theRegion, look at all they're doing. They're probably backed by Welsh government or something like that. And it's not. We're backed by other people who care as passionately as we do. And I think, that has been the driver from the beginning. We wanted to have an organisation that that is led by businesses and people who care. And that is what our membership is. It's a bunch of change makers, a bunch of positive people, a bunch of businesses who really care and believe in what we're trying to achieve, and want to work together we keep coming back to.
Brilliant. Well, I think that's a really positive message to end on, because we're going into 2026 with big plans, which we can talk more about at another time. We've always got big plans. We're on this huge mission and we want to grow our membership, grow our audience. So if you're listening to this and you're not already a 4theRegion member, then please join us. You've heard Zoe talk so passionately about the mission and the why of all of our work. And we want to keep you involved and empower you and your organisations and your local places. And we want to provide opportunities for you and your family and your teams in our region. And really, we are for South West Wales. So if any of that resonates, if you feel the same, hopefully this little discussion between myself and Zoe has given more insight into what we're all about. So please do sign up, join us, and stay connected as we continue this conversation and this journey.
Hope to work with you all and see you all in 2026.
Thanks so much, everybody. Bye for now.